Ladies and gentlemen, as I promised, I will be looking at the horoscopes of Ukraine and Zelensky to see how, what is the future of Ukraine. I cannot look at the horoscope of Russia and Putin for a very simple reason. It is that we do not have the real horoscope of Putin. This is because if you look at the face of Putin, I am almost certain, and I read from so many sources, that this is not even Putin. This is a double. So if I look at when we look at the horoscope of a nation to see how the future, what the future will show, we usually look at two important sources. One is the horoscope of the nation, of the country, and the second, it's a must to look at the horoscope of the ruler. Putin, I don't look at Putin of 15 years ago looked very different. This is not the person that you see now in media. I'm not certain that this is not a double. So I do not have any confidence to really start researching and looking at the horoscope of Putin. And secondly, even if this is the real Putin, we know officially he worked for the KGB for a very long time. Do you think that such guy will announce his horoscope when we know that every leader, we're talking about people that maybe are true leaders, they all use astrologers without any exception. So I don't think that this will be valid and reliable to look at the horoscope of Russia. Therefore, we still can derive some information when we look at the horoscope of Ukraine and Zelensky. So I will show my screen to illustrate my words. Before that, just briefly to tell you, Ukraine was established when we went through this great the independence of Ukraine, actually, from the Soviet Union happened in 1991. This is when, 31 years ago, Saturn also, like now, entered Sidereal Capricorn. You know what happened? We had the Berlin Wall fell. We had many significant events. I mentioned them and I read them through in previous videos. I don't want to repeat them. But when Saturn entered Sidereal Capricorn 30 years ago, he brought significant political, governmental, structural changes to the world. One of them was the Soviet Union, which was, as a result, was split, and we had Russia separately, and the countries which belong to the Soviet Union are now separate. One of them, of course, was Ukraine. In 1991, this country declared independence. Now, I explained you why you look only at the horoscope of Zelensky, and here is my, I'm sharing my screen with you. So this is the horoscope of Zelensky, 25th of January 1978. You can find it online. I don't know how truthful this horoscope is. We are never sure with the horoscopes of politicians. And this is the horoscope of Ukraine after the independence signed with the Soviet Union, August 24, 1991. After Saturn entered Sidereal Capricorn, you see here. Zelensky, ascendant 28 degrees of Taurus, very powerful star, Capella, hermetic star, according to Hermes, star of money and power, and he has this on his ascendant. Of course, this star will give him wealth, and we know now that he's paid, that he has billions. This we read all the time. He's in his powerful position also because of this star. Now, very important, I will not make analysis of his horoscope. It makes no sense. We look at the recent developments and what are they based upon. You see, he is born shortly after the full moon, and in Cancer he has Moon and Mars conjunction. Mars is fallen. He has also fallen Saturn, fallen Mars, and fallen Saturn. Venus is invisible, and invisible Venus opposing fallen Mars. I will not discuss his sexuality here. But what is happening now is very important, because I mentioned to you, end of January 2020, Saturn entered Sidereal Capricorn, which happens to be his midheaven, which actually passes to very important star. But Saturn started in very, very important transformations for him. Not easy, by the way, because you see the fallen Mars, you see the fallen Saturn who rules Capricorn. Now, when Saturn started transits here, end of January 2020, actually, the changes for him started, and they are very hard on him, and he's really, you see Mars, fallen Mars, which represent people's masculine power and people's ambition and drive. Fallen Mars with the moon makes him very, very sensitive. The fallen Saturn in Leo makes him weak, and I'll explain you why. Because Saturn, who rules the midheaven, our highest aims, our highest desires, wishes, what we want to achieve, to see manifested, Saturn is fallen. And where conjoined the star Regulus, this is the heart of the lion. Fallen Saturn with the star Regulus. If you tell me that he has courage, I will strongly disagree with you. We are talking about total lack of courage. His heart is, instead of being lion's heart, is just the opposite. But I don't want to describe this further, because I want to remain unbiased. Now, so see, when somebody is that weak, that easily afraid, without, you see, fallen Mars with the moon, very vulnerable, easily to be, look, he's only lucky with this star here. Aldebaran project star, royal star of money and power projection on this eastern horizon. It is, what to tell you, yes, he has exact sextile Jupiter Saturn, which is also about money and some power. But you see, the thing is that he's financially lucky, but very weak and very afraid, and such people are easily to be manipulated. Easy. It is like he's in a constant state of anxiety, paranoia, and stress. See, fallen Saturn next to the moon. The Indian astrologers would describe this as a very hard aspect. Saturn next to the moon, and he has this in the natal chart, meaning he lives in constant worries, fears, and guess what? Such people are easily to be manipulated. It's just a game for the ones that want to manipulate them. What is happening now is that when Saturn makes transformation on his horoscope, because he's the official ruler of Ukraine, he's making also transformations on the country. And let's go to the horoscope of Ukraine. Saturn, first of all, from November 2017 until end of January 2020, Saturn was transiting on the ascendant of Ukraine, already preparing great change, because it was a very hard aspect for people, probably bringing enormous poverty and very hard life. End of January 2020, Saturn entered Sidereal Capricorn, and this is the return of Ukraine. And let me tell you also, the moon of Ukraine, which is now under the reconstruction of Saturn, the moon are the people, have totally no benefit from this horoscope of Ukraine. From 1991, I think that they live they have very hard life in Ukraine. And of course, the moon has no course and is fallen. The people are oppressed, really oppressed. There is totally no growth with the fallen moon in Capricorn, and also Saturn influences this moon with restriction. People are under absolute, I would say limitation, but this is not a limitation. This will be prison-like aspect. And also the moon has no course. There is no development for the people. There is no growth. And also, I will show you what struck me the most. The sun of Ukraine, which gives probably brave people, such which are lofty, which deserve to study and know. The sun is in the 7 degrees of Leo, the heart of the lion. Where is the Saturn of Zelensky? He is not giving any, any hope. His Saturn is repressing the sun of Ukraine. The Saturn of Zelensky, which is his midheaven, meaning that when he wants to grow, he suppresses the reality of Ukraine because his Saturn, the planet of his 9th house, his midheaven, is conjoined the sun, the heart of the lion, the sun, which is actually very powerful in Leo, but not with this leader. And I am not biased here. You cannot accuse me of being biased because I am telling you mathematically the degrees and you can see them yourself. The Saturn on the sun of the Ukrainian people. Moon without any course. This is really very, very difficult. And his midheaven passes through the moon. Like his highest purpose, his highest desires are against, the people's reality. Very hard horoscope of Ukraine. Now, let me tell you the most interesting part. Eclipses. In year 2022, 4 eclipses, one on the 30th of April, one on the 15th of May, one on the 25th of October, one on the 7th of November, all of them on the midheaven lower meridian of Ukraine, 11th, 5th houses. What is this? This is the financial system. This is this is the image, the connections, because the 11th house is about your images, it's about your connections. Where is this falling on the horoscope of Zelensky? 12th, 6th houses are the eclipses, which actually are not good karma houses. But for Ukraine, this can bring, this is not good. This will not bring any winning. They cannot win with eclipses taking place here on their midheaven lower meridian. There is no way this to happen. Of course, war is never winning. It's not a winning condition for neither of the parties, but this is going to have devastating effect on the country. And now Saturn, as we speak, is on their moon, on the people. The worst harm is on the people. Yes, Zelensky is just under certain influence. He's being heavily manipulated. I explained you mathematically why. And when the eclipses come, you will see important transformations. Now, when is this going to end? How is this going to end? It will not be a winning position for Ukraine. Secondly, how? Well, you see, now I mentioned in my previous video, Saturn on the 22nd of May to the 18th of June will be here in Aquarius. This will be a very important 1 month period, not yet unfolding completely to release them from this heavy influence. But again, also this Saturn next to people's moon is very heavy. It's not positive. But look, so 1 month Saturn will be here to give maybe opportunity for some negotiations, but Saturn will make opposition to Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet which is ruling the ascendant, ruling the people. Jupiter is invisible in the horoscope. This is combust, invisible Jupiter. Not really, again, hard aspect on the people. Now, when will this most probably end? It will start completion after Saturn leaves Capricorn for real, and this is end of January 2023. While Saturn will be here in Capricorn, this cannot be over, and also these eclipses will take part very heavy. I told you the dates. You will see how transformative they will be. And with this transit here of the fall, look, what is very important to see is when we're looking at the transformations which Saturn can give to a person's horoscope, this Saturn is fallen. He cannot give its best to this person because he's just fallen. Now, of course, there is a mutual reception. Saturn is in Capricorn, the Sun is in Capricorn, and the Saturn is in Leo. Very strong. This keeps him on power. But still, Saturn remains fallen, which makes him highly manipulated person, manipulated through his own fears. So this is the thing. There will be many videos showing how he's taking drugs. Of course, with this position of Mars fallen in the 8 degrees of Cancer, very possibly. So, and on the lower meridian, of course, on this particular place with the moon, this is very possible because he's very vulnerable, very weak, and he's most probably with these aspects, fallen Mars, fallen Saturn, totally invisible, completely combust Venus. He might be looking for way out. So this was probably informative. I hope so. Yes, unfortunately, we cannot look. I wish we could look at the horoscope of Russia and Putin, but like I told you, I don't trust the horoscope of Putin. So, ladies and gentlemen, your comments are very, very welcome, and see you very soon.